So today is a special day. It's the end of the long shutdown for the LHC. Not only the LHC, but also the experiments in the LHC and the injector chain for the LHC.
The Atlas detector is a huge and complex apparatus currently under construction at CERN, Geneva, Switzerland. This international experiment will explore the physics emanating from very high energy collisions produced by the Large Hadron Collider.
It was launched on an Atlas V rocket.
The huge Atlas detector, which studies these collisions, in a 27-kilometer underground ring near Geneva. Protons are accelerated to near the speed of light and collided. Here at the CERN laboratory, scientists can recreate the conditions of the universe immediately after the Big Bang. Throughout much of the Atlas detector, there is an intense magnetic field. This is produced by passing current through about 80 kilometers of superconducting cables housed within a large toroidal structure. This enables Atlas to maintain one of the world's largest volumes of intense magnetic field.
Everything has to work at the same time, like an orchestra, where all the music has to play synchronously for it to be beautiful. And that's the same in the LHC. For it to work, everything has to work at the right moment, at the right time.
And see here we have four cosmic ray detectors, a standard apparatus that we use in physics for our studies, sound and a flash of light. In this show we will put playing together the cosmic piano and the real piano.
I've played with many machines, but I've never played with the cosmic lights. So we'll see what happens.
Black holes and all this stuff, so I spent a lot of my youth listening.
All these different experiments, I mean, it's very, very humbling, you know. To know that there's something like this that exists in our world at this time, it's amazing. It's incredibly humbling as well.
It's amazing to see the passion. Everybody, you know, this is their particular niche in the same way that our thing is music.
I've been saying for years that it seems like the most talented young musicians kind of mysteriously die at a very young age. And I have always said, too, that I think that they were taken to go do something very important.
$13 trillion electron volts. That's the energy at which the Large Hadron Collider smashes together protons.
And then in the coming periods, we will increase the energy of the beam to the world record of 6.8 tera electron volts, and then put the beams in collision. And this will happen in July, when the real physics will start again.
Did you guys know that you guys were arguably making the best rap album ever?
Yeah.
Travis Scott. What do you think separates him from all these other rappers?
His creativity, like with his sounds and with his voice, you know, and his production, the work he does. He's a beast with like vocal effects and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm just really good with balancing frequencies, you know. That's why I like to master all my own shit, because I kind of hear
Okay.
it was a certain way I wanted to make me feel when I just listened to it loud, you know.
But when you walked down that tunnel and into that open space, I don't even know what to call it because it was like underground. All the negative energy and bad things that happen at Astroworld, like all those spirits and energy is at that location. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was weird.
So this is a comparison of the Astroworld stage with the CERN grand opening stage of 2015. Performance that was done at CERN versus what actually happened there. You see the aggression, the pushing against. And then people start flailing. It's the audience at Astroworld. It's uncanny, really. In this audience clip, too, you can really see the pockets that the Ragers made that push the audience together at the center.
According to Professor Geim, that makes this material perfect for conducting experiments in high-speed quantum physics. Graphene has huge potential. That's probably why the EU devoted $1.3 billion to research that's supposed to last for a decade, from 2013 to 2023.
Being rather boldly called the wonder material for the 21st century and one of the biggest scientific developments of recent decades. Incredibly strong, flexible and conductive despite being just 1 atom thick, graphene created quite a stir when it was properly discovered back in 2004. Then the possibilities seemed endless, and construction was one of the areas set to benefit, with space elevators.
These space elevators, see, that's where things get creepy. And notice these graphene little molecules are really attracted to each other, and you'll notice little flashes of light emitting from them.
However hard you try, you won't be able to squeeze even a single atom of helium through graphene.
The magnet, thinking down on the atomic scale, is that if I take my electron and I move it in a clockwise direction to make it look like a North Pole, and I continue doing exactly the same thing with my hand, but I turn around, then hopefully now it should look like it's going in an anti-clockwise direction, and therefore looks like a South Pole. Okay, so now you see that the North Pole viewed from one side is really just the South Pole viewed from the other, and so you really can't separate the poles because it's just a paradox. Okay, but we're still going to try. We found that when he moved a magnet through a coil of wire, it induced an electric current into the wire. Okay, so this led to the understanding that we now have that electricity and magnetism are deeply interconnected. They're really two sides of the same coin. So I have a little demonstration of this.
All you need is one piece of glass and just white ferrofluid on one side, and then it makes it really visible because you get an extremely thin layer. Look how clear this is.
Most people are aware that when you look at the effects of a magnetic field under a magnetic viewer, it looks something like this. However, most people are not aware that every permanent magnet emits a spinning vortex from its north and south poles. The actual spin vortex looks similar to this diagram. The north produces a counterclockwise spin, while the south a clockwise spin. The Earth itself is a giant magnet moving through space, and everything on it exhibits spin, from the currents of the ocean to the jet stream to the age rings of a tree. If you look for it, everything in nature exhibits spin.
It's all right. Don't be scared. It's all right.
See, what gets me about all of this is these are magnetic tunnels, and we're dealing with a planet that we live on that's magnetic. And if they're putting this contraption up into space, the scare of a polarity shift sounds very real at the hands of CERN. I know it sounds crazy. And better believe I hope I'm wrong, you know? I don't want to be right.
Led Galileo to believe that the sun had to be at the center of the solar system.
Because if you look at it this way, with the Earth at the center, and then the Moon, then Mercury, then Venus, then the Sun, then Mars, then Jupiter, then Saturn, indeed, the sun is at the center. It's just a different perspective. And that's a big topic on this channel now, isn't it? It's all about perspective, you guys. It's all in the way that you see things. And you can see it through the eyes of indoctrination or through the eyes of someone that's self-educated and exploring and asking who, where, when, why, how, what.
There is that light